the Great Lakes Uncensored live stream. So I'm in an interesting position right now because I've just slept for like, I got a lot of sleep. I slept from like, must have been like 5 o'clock yesterday to 2 o'clock this afternoon. And now I'm awake, but like circadian rhythm dysfunction is a part of this. And I'm stopping smoking weed and taking Vyvanse to kind of. I don't really know. Like, I seem to be getting better as a result of long term carnivore anyway, but I think these things are draining my electrolytes, and I know weed makes me more tired. So I'm like, maybe I've just become so adapted from carnivore that I can just drink large quantities of green tea, walk, do push ups, and other things, take caffeine, and not take Adderall. And I've experimented with taking or not taking Adderall. My father says I use this for self therapy, which I totally do. Um, Confessing that was part of my self therapy. So, yeah, I'm just going off again, but I'm awake right now. But I have supplements, and they're lined up, and I'm going to take them in this order. So I haven't taken caffeine today, but caffeine, funny enough, makes me sleepy. So I vitamin C, it's calcium ascorbate and salt, some caffeine there. Maybe I might make that one caffeine pill, maybe two. I don't know. Then I got caffeine, B vitamins, caffeine and B vitamins. I may add some salt to, or no, some betaine HCl to the B vitamins to aid the absorption. I also may not. The Whatever podcast, I noticed they did like excessively long live streams as well. Though I find those kind of disappointing. Like, I don't want to do a live stream in the sense of, um, how's it going? Like, I don't want to do, like, Rumble also is big into live streams, and like Nick Fuentes does live streams. Like, I think about like live streaming, and I'm just gonna go live because I feel like it. Like, I don't even want my business model to depend on YouTube at all. I don't want my income to depend on YouTube at all. Howdy. I don't want anything to depend on anyone liking me through media or anything because that's just stressful and depressing. What I like is I like talking about things I like. I like exploring the medium of YouTube and just kind of seeing what the hell this YouTube thing is. Like, what I'm going to be downloading all of my videos onto a hard drive I just bought and having that, and then also making a video archive of all useful videos on YouTube in general, because YouTube it's got so much useful educational content. The entire Maps of Meaning series, the overly sarcastic history of ancient Rome, audiobooks. There's so much stuff on YouTube that's so worth downloading. So I'm just gonna, because it might not be up forever, so I'm just gonna download. My channel is so useful, Lord Farquaad's Farts, but I wouldn't realize that because it's called Lord Farquaad's Farts. Like, is it about Lord Farquaad farting? I feel like that. I'm not interested in Lord Farquaad farting. Tell me why I should be interested in Lord Farquaad. But that's like your thing. Like, you can be interested in Lord Farquaad. The fact that you're not telling me what it's about, just tell me what it's about, man. Like, what is it? Like, dude, I get hit on by so many gay people on the internet. I've just, like, I don't even want to go into it because it gets so elaborate. Like, I end up on these calls. This happened once, actually. At first, it was saying this ended up happening. But this happened once and make you not depressed. Okay, like, okay, I'll check it out on my other cellular device. But Lord Farquaad farts. I think Lord Farquaad actually has 2 A's. I'm just fucking with you. It actually does though, but I am also just fucking with you. Wait, what if I found... I'm gonna find my own live stream. Oh god, it's gonna start a feedback thing. I don't really care. I do this for the art. This is all for the art of doing this, so... Oh no. I can't find it. I can't find your YouTube channel, my guy. Go leave it as like a comment or something on one of my recent videos. Like link a good video in a comment on one of my recent videos. I'll leave it up. If it doesn't take, shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat. Shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the... So that's my email from the other... No, not to make a jizzle for shizzle, man. Like, that is... No. Because it leads to a meaningless place. Like, I've had my share of meaningless sex in my life, and it leads to a bad place. It leads to me needing to meditate all the time because I don't know why my brain is going nuts. My thing didn't show up in the thing. Why did my comment not show up in the comment that's available? Unless there's a huge lag. Is there a huge lag? Unless there's a huge lag. Oh, it won't let me put an email. This is frustrating. How do I give you my email? I guess I could just write it on a sticky note. I'm just gonna write it on a sticky note and then tell me when you've got it. If you don't reply, I'll just assume that you aren't there. Because I tell you to go off. But then you're off the live stream, yeah. So I'm exploring the medium of all this stuff. Like, I just want to figure out week to warrior global at gmail.com. You can send it there. Did you get it? Let me know when you got it. It's kind of a beautiful picture. I'm actually going to screenshot that for the memories. Wait, that didn't work. Maybe it's the top button? Am I screenshotting? It's still... Oh, there we go. That's how I get a screenshot of it. There we go. Just email me a video of yours that you think is a good video, and I might check it out. I'll probably check it out. I'd say I'll check it out, but I might not check it out. But I'll email you back if I check it out. I'll probably check it out. Like, I'm pretty ADHD as a person, so there's like a very, like, 99.999% chance that I just am bored. Send me the video that, like, no one understands, but that's, like, the most brilliant video, and send me your most popular video. I'll watch them. I'll check it out when I'm on the toilet, and I don't want to... I'll check it out, though. I'll check it out. But basically, though, I'm in this odd position where... I might. I mean... Maybe? I don't know. I might watch it right now. I don't really know. It depends what it's on. But I'll check it out. You send it right now. I'll check it out right now. But basically, so I was looking at Great Lakes Unfiltered's live stream. And I saw that they were doing these live streams where they would just do these 10-hour live streams. and they would get a ton of views to these live streams because they're doing them for 10 hours. And I've thought about just ask your question. I was thinking about that. I'm like, is that how you get a bunch of subscribers on YouTube? And I've kind of like, I'm not trying to get a bunch of subscribers because I don't really. I think ultimately the way to get a bunch of subscribers, it sounds so cliche, is to just not care and just do whatever the hell you find interesting. I already told you, ask your question. Um, and then if people find that interesting, they find that interesting. But it's like, as an artist and someone who's creating something, you can't be trying to pander to your audience. You have to be your own audience. Do I like DIH? What is DIH? Like, in what context? I have no idea. This isn't even a health video. So I'm like, is that like some like I don't even know if that's a chemical acronym. Do I like DI? I don't know what that is. So basically, there's really no way in my mind to force popularity unless you want to force yourself into a pigeonhole that you imagine to be the pigeonhole that people find interesting and not merely. I do not know what you're talking about. So you can pigeonhole yourself. And I think that's to some degree what the 10-hour content is. But even that, I feel like, is simply exploiting the usability of the software for views, basically. You can do the same thing with TikTok. And I am going to go to my brother call Jason Moore on the wall. Let me go to the bathroom. I'll be back. But more on this all, you know? So that is a fascinating byproduct of taking calcium and magnesium. Like I said, I did right before. All right, I'll check it out. So that was a byproduct. Like, taking calcium and stuff makes me pee. Because when your body balances electrolytes, it releases all the electrolytes. Oh, it just releases all the water that was being used as a buffer, basically. So, massive urine release, but it feels really good. So, what does this all mean? Well, I don't know what it all means, first of all. I'm not going to claim any sort of ultimate knowledge. I'll just claim pursuing knowledge because I think that I could obtain knowledge, but I don't think I have ultimate knowledge. So what does this all mean? Well, I was watching Gone with the Wind earlier, and I also got this cool binder at Staples, but none of these are quite the point, though I will be talking about the binder more later. The point is that there's this technology now that's revolutionary. It's like the printing press. It exists in our hands. I use it to communicate with this. Lord Farquaad's fart used it to communicate with me, sent me a video. I'm going to watch it in a minute or two or something. I'll check it out at least. I'll at least look at what it is. I'm going to cap some magnesium right now. I just capped some calcium. So, and the calcium made me a little sleepier, and basically we're in this position where we don't really know what the internet is. Like, I don't know what the internet is. What is a YouTube channel? What is a book even? Like, over there is Ulysses. Challenges what the idea of a book is. Comic books challenge the idea of what a book is. Many uses of book challenge the idea of what a book is. What is a book? I mean, a book is a byproduct of a technological process. It is the result of impressing ink onto paper with a printing press and binding it so. We haven't exhausted this. We haven't exhausted the value of writing, even written language, spoken language, not at all. So now we have this technology, cell phones, and a YouTube channel is a encompassing of typed language, video, spoken words, written. It's this whole thing, and it could be anything. I mean, people will start YouTube channels doing one thing and become popular, and then start doing something else, and their YouTube channel will show the progression of their ideas and of them as a person, and that becomes part of what people come to look at when they come to look at the YouTube channel. They come to look at the progression of the individual who started this YouTube channel. What did they used to do? What do they do now? So what is YouTube? YouTube is documenting the human life in a way that we have never before seen. So we really have never seen anything like YouTube. We have no idea what YouTube is. We have no idea what the ramifications of YouTube are. We have no idea. Same with Instagram, same with these other things. But I think YouTube is, in my mind, the most profound because YouTube is the one I spend the most time on. YouTube is the one where you have long form conversations and like talks by Terence McKenna, Alan Watts, books by long dead people. YouTube to me is it is not 1 a.m. for me, but glad that you can tell time where you're at. So YouTube is the most encompassing in my mind. Like, YouTube gives you books, movies, old talks from like the previous century, modern live streams, podcasts. Like, it's just recordings of fights, athletics, just everything. Like, I went on YouTube to watch like an electoral debate. Like, it's just everything is on YouTube. So yes, I do have a holy forehead. Thank you for noticing. So YouTube, it stores all the brains that give all these talks. So YouTube is everything. And that's why I like YouTube the most. I think it's like Instagram is more limited in its expression. Other media is more limited in its expression. I think X is sort of the ultimate of limited expression media, which is why it's exactly. Like, I'm the same here. Like, there's so much good content on YouTube, but you can't even watch all of it. So YouTube, and that's where I think about like getting noticed on YouTube even is incredibly, in some ways it's challenging, but in other ways you can't do anything. Like, my first video I ever uploaded got no views, and I stopped uploading videos, and then out of nowhere it gets 10,000 views. And I was like, and then I started uploading more videos, and then those got no views. And then out of nowhere they got a ton of views. And I was like, they started uploading videos, then they got views, then they didn't get views. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And now there's just a steady stream of attention that's going to my YouTube channel, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem like a business to me. This seems like an art form for people who are really obsessed with not even a gamble. It's just, if you like to talk and you got a fucking weird thing for overthinking stuff, come on YouTube, man. There's a bunch of people who will love you. So I do it for self-therapy, as I talked about in the beginning of this video, because I had crazy fucking health problems. That's why I'm up at 4 a.m. because I slept for almost 24 hours straight because I'm recovering from is all the symptoms of fatal insomnia, except for the dying part. I don't want to keep saying that because I don't want to make that true, but Yeah, I don't know. So this is like I do YouTube to think about the world in a different sense because it's just this weird. Yeah, it's for the crazy, fun, creative, talkative folks. Exactly. Like that's, and I think those people. I'm betting. You know what? This is really what I think because I've done. So I recovered from the insomnia. I've recovered 3 times. I've had episodes 3 times in my life, and they wipe me out completely every time. And it's horrible. I'm smiling, so don't cry. Um, I have insomnia, had little sleep paralysis once or twice or 3 times. Try to respect the grind. I put my phone down and talk to myself for an hour or so. Help me speak to others and help anxiety greatly. Yeah, exactly. Like, but basically, though, it's not for business. All I'm going to be doing in the next 12 months. I think you got to do ads for 12 months if you're going to do ads. Otherwise, you're just kind of bored and you don't really want to do ads. You just don't know what to do. So you're just going to you're spend money as a substitute for figuring out what to do. So I'm going to commit to 12 months of ads on Instagram, come out with some merchandise and like apparel for my brand for Amazon. But again, this is my own YouTube channel. This is Devin Young. This isn't Week to Warrior YouTube channel because I don't even have a YouTube channel for Week to Warrior. I think officially, or maybe I haven't made videos on it yet. But I'm just doing this through me because it's more personal than a brand. So the brand, I'm just going to run ads for the brand to build the audience for the brand. Because even like my personal vision for what I want to do beyond online presence basically extends to carrying this puppy around, writing more books. Already written and published my first book. Check that out. It's the DMT Journal on my YouTube channel. But I'm just thinking about how information dissipates because I had the insomnia problem. I still have the insomnia problem, but I've dealt with it to the point where between the ages of 21 and 23, I did health coaching to help people with insomnia, like full time. And before then, I'd done it part time and helped a lot of people with insomnia. Developed insomnia again because it's a bitch of a problem. Now I know even more about insomnia. Stop smoking weed. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. It's just that like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like what insomnia does to me. Um, Weed included, but yeah, it just kind of sucks, you know. Like, I'm glad I didn't get hooked on any sleeping drugs. It was just kind of like after the first time my brain got destroyed when I was 16, and that was like I didn't used to smoke weed, and then I like had a month of not sleeping. It just kind of like wrecked my brain until recently, and it's still kind of. I don't know. I don't want to like complain and bitch and stuff, but sort of like weed has been a punching bag to take my frustration out on instead of other things I shall not speak of. Well, I don't know. I guess like I felt compelled when I wasn't sleeping. Not that I would ever do this. And the fact that I would even talk about it means I wouldn't do it. So this is not in any way a confession of any past or future crime. But I felt compelled to take arrows that I don't own, like go buy a bow and buy arrows, and then tie sparklers to the ends of the arrows, and then shoot the arrows into buildings to set the buildings on fire so that the world could feel my pain. So I would just smoke weed compulsively, like just smoke as much weed as I could and drink tons of green tea and then just meditate and walk as much as possible. And that would, but it's like insane. It's insane what I have videos of me like screaming and stuff when I haven't slept for like a week. It's not fun. I deleted some of the very extreme ones, though I wish I hadn't now, but I worried they would think I was crazy. Now I know that no one will watch them, so no one will even care that I'm crazy. But that's sort of like how I think about YouTube and book writing. Even it's like technology has enabled people to maximize their niche now more than ever. So I'm not looking at the phone, so I don't see. How's it going? So I don't see how many people are on or off because it makes me a little more self-conscious. But I may look at it again. I'm just sharing my thoughts as they come because it's fascinating, and that's really like all I care about doing on the live stream. I thought like Rumble live streams and like I'll do live streams when I want to do live streams, make videos when I want to make videos. I'll write a book when I want to write a book. I'll make supplements when I want to make supplements. I'll come out with apparel when I want to come out with apparel. I'll run ads when I want to run ads. I'll do workouts when I want to do workouts. I'll write blog posts when I want to write blog posts. And I want to do all of this stuff. Did we repeat? No. And I want to do all this stuff all of the time. It is simply a expression of my personality. Okay, now I'm more interested. You'll do all those things when I say you can. When I feel the need to say stuff like that online, it's because I'm not doing enough jujitsu. So, go do some jujitsu. I'll just block you. Hide this user on this channel. Yeah, that's just odd. Users' messages will be hidden. View deleted messages. Huh. I guess I just hid that person on my channel. I just removed that guy from my channel. I don't know how I just... It's just odd. Like, I don't know. I don't... Maybe I should let him stay on my channel, but I decided to remove him. Maybe I will not remove other people in the future. But I don't know. It felt interesting. So I've checking out your video. You lied. This is gay. This is, I mean, it's not like, yeah, this is gay. Maybe I'll remove you too. I don't know. No, I wasn't a fan. I thought that the video was... No, but it is gay love, though. Like, it was actually gay. It was literally depicting a gay marriage between Shrek and Lord Farquaad. So, like, I'm not even... Like, it was just actually gay. It's... I don't know, man. I think that, like... I didn't like it because it wasn't your voice. It was just sort of, like, gay... It was, I don't know, like, I feel like you could make your own thing. Like, I don't really know. I don't know, man. I don't know where that's going. I didn't like it, though, but, like, I feel like... Feels like a porn cyborg's idea of art. Are you a porn cyborg? Do you sometimes identify as a porn cyborg? I don't know. No, I mean, I'm just like, I'm looking at it. Like, I watched the video. I mean, the edit was good, actually. I'll give you credit. Like, your actual video editing skills were good. Like, it was good, objectively. Like, you objectively did a good job. But the topic... Like, the amount of good job you did relative to the topic makes me think... Speaking honestly, that you probably watch too much porn and that makes you feel uncomfortable, so then you wanted to, like, you're kind of like very artistically expressing your own discomfort with the thoughts you've grown comfortable with, but those are thoughts related to porn because that's just kind of like what that video makes me think of. So then I'm estimating that is, I mean, that's just like what I think. So I'm like, like I think you could make a good edit of something else. I wonder why you chose that, given that you could make a good edit of something else and you weren't simply choosing that topic for the shock value. Like you were actually, like I could, you just, that's for whatever reason that topic continues to come into your mind. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not a fan. But I think you could make other good videos. Like you clearly have like it was like the way you cut it, the timing and everything was all very tasteful, but the actual content was not the greatest. But back to the topic of live streams though, with the initial, who are you? Whoop Wolffang? Like what's your deal, man? Tell me about your quest. What is your quest? But I mean, I think basically just kind of constant activity in the direction of your interests while limiting things that drain energy is the way forward for these things. So that's why I'm doing this live stream right now, because I'm going to be taking these supplements regardless. Like, I'm just taking these supplements because this is so, it's like I might as well film this because this is also interesting because I was scrolling and now becoming a successful YouTuber and content creator. I like that. So tell me what you're trying to do that, because that's one thing I was talking about. Like, I don't think trying to force it is, that is I am that guy. I don't think trying to force it is the way, because like I was trying, like I tried to make a Facebook group successful. I made a Facebook group successful. And then I stopped working on the Facebook group constantly and it died down. So now I just randomly post stuff and it's kind of active, but I just don't care because if you want information, come find me. Tried to make YouTube a business years ago. It just didn't work so hard. I stopped very quickly. Tried to make like I've played around with other things. I played around with this stuff so that I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I feel like this is sort of what I think. I'm like, I see people who either make art that they like and then become successful as a result and then pigeonhole themselves, or people who pigeonhole themselves and become successful as a result. And both people, I think, get it wrong, because I think what makes people successful is the mere fact that the technology exists. Like, the technology itself is what's doing the thing, not me. It's just, I'm just sitting here talking. The technology is conveying this to you. If I do this consistently and people find it interesting, then it gets attention. If it's not interesting, it doesn't get attention. Or if people find it interesting later, I could even do a ton of stuff and then people find it interesting down the road and it gets a ton of attention down the road. But if I already gave that up, so the only real thing that matters on the internet is your story over time, because I can see everything you do online. So I can just see how you started doing stuff and where you ended up. And now that itself can be interesting to me. So in some real sense, everything you do on the internet is now marketing. The only thing that determines your success as a marketer is your orientation as a human being. And 100-something subs, trying to plan to get more. Yeah, so like I don't think planning is how you get more. I think like I didn't plan this live stream. I just started doing a live stream because I was up in the middle of the night scrolling and I saw someone else doing a live stream and I was like, this live stream kind of sucks. How many subscribers do they have? 7,000? 7,000 subscribers? When did they start doing these live streams? Like a few weeks ago? They got 7,000 subscribers from doing like 200 live streams over the course of a few weeks. There's 10-hour live streams. I'm like, I'm gonna start doing a live stream right now and talking about this. That's what I've been doing. I'm just talking about, but I'm not trying to replicate their strategy because now I'm gonna be stuck doing 10-hour live streams. Because the reason that the 10-hour live stream works is because there's people like us who are just on YouTube all the time. So it's, if you're doing a live stream all the time, there's a heavy chance that I'm gonna come in and see you. And then maybe I'll watch you because I'm on YouTube, but it's like, why am I watching you? Will I continue watching you if you're, there's no guarantee. There are people whose webcomics I've read for years and they stopped and they started again. There's no guarantee. Everyone's looking for the guarantee online. So you're like, true, I want more than 16. Dude, you have actual skill editing. Like that thing looked kind of good, but the thing you made was shit. But the way you made it was good. The way you made it was good, man. Just, you have 800, almost 900 videos. I have 1,400 videos. I just keep making more. Like anytime I have a thought that really like sticks out to me, I just sit down and I film it. I go, hey guys, I'm Devin Young and I had a thought today. And I tell my thought. And then like no one will view it for years. And then you'll get a bunch of views out of nowhere. And it's like, I watch you as no one else is here and I could talk to you. The topic was shit, but my skill is 1,000. Exactly. Like the reason you're watching me is because there's no one on here. The reason I'm on here is I got nothing to fucking do, man. I'm just taking supplements because I slept for like 23 hours because I have this weird insomnia and now I can sleep again, but now I'm awake. So that's the thing. Like it doesn't matter, but now I'm documenting a moment in the history of the internet. So now this is relevant to people 10 years from now because they could be like, hey, remember that time when everyone was doing live streams and people got popular doing live streams? I wonder if someone else did a live stream. Oh, here's a live stream. A guy talking about how he did live streams. And then I get like 1 million views for that in like 10 years. Like that's how it works. That's like literally how it works. That literally is just make random videos. If you want to get popular quickly, just spam similar content on Instagram. But if you do that, no one will watch your YouTube videos either. So you have a bunch of people who like you for a specific reason that you're not even that interested in. Oh, it takes years. It takes years. Like I've been posting on YouTube for like 4 years. And I just started getting consistent attention like 2 years ago. And I just started getting substantial attention like a year ago. And it's like, it just takes, but even the attention I get now makes no sense. But it's a lot, but it makes no sense. So I just gave up on making sense of any of it. I just make videos on all of my thoughts. When I feel compelled to do a live stream, I do it. I might start live streaming on Rumble. I don't know. It's just whatever my ADHD tells me to do. I'm going to write blog posts and shit too. I have a website. And I'll make a video archive of all my videos and then upload them to a personal website. And that's literally it. It's just the technology is so powerful that if you just continue doing it, at some point people will watch your stuff. And then you'll be like, why is everyone watching me? like it doesn't make any sense to me either. No, you being not sensible is so entertaining. It feels relatable. I think that's why. Exactly. Like I think that is the thing. I'm just a human being trying to figure out the internet. That's why this is interesting. Like we know so little. Okay, this is the level. This is where we're at as a society. We know so little about books that have existed for thousands of years that the best books I've read, and I've read a lot of books, like look around this office. This ain't even all my books. This ain't even all my books. This is a small number of my books. The best books I've read are just people schizophrenically ranting the voices in their head onto paper and making it seem like a story. Those are the best books because we as human beings are just trying to figure out what the fuck a human being is. So we're like, okay, hey man, here's like 26 symbols. just go at it on paper, and I'm gonna look at this shit, and we're gonna try to see like how any of this makes any sense. That's really that's what this is. In even like supplements, like I have a supplement company. These are magic pills, you know what I mean? Like these are like magic pills that I am maybe. I mean, I would say start with the Odyssey. Like just read the Odyssey. If you never read anything else, just read the Odyssey and that will prime you for everything else. Playing with other YouTubers, uploading videos. I don't know. I made a series of videos that's just this is what I've been doing. Okay, like here's what you guys do. Lord Farquaad and Whoop Wolfang. This is how you get a bunch of subscribers really fast. You want to know? Say yes if you want to know. I want you both to say yes if you want to know. This is something I've done in the past few weeks. I just fucked around and figured it out. And it works really well for me. It'll probably work really well for you too. But again, I don't think this is an ultimate strategy. This is just something that will get you subscribers quickly now. And then you'll ultimately have to do other stuff. But again, given the way YouTube works, yeah, dude, this is why I'm on YouTube, is because, like, in Colorado, it's illegal to collect more than 110 gallons of rainwater without a permit. Like, we need to organize ourselves to have a second American Revolution. Okay, World War III is happening on the internet. So I'll give Lord Farquaad Farts his strategy, and then I'll get to how World War III is happening on the internet right now. It's informational warfare. It's happening on the internet right now as we speak. Not the least of which because cybersecurity is the biggest threat, and culture dictates, policy dictates cybersecurity. And okay, so basically, you probably scroll Instagram or scroll YouTube. If you scroll YouTube a lot or Instagram a lot, Instagram's a little better because Instagram gets a lot of the reels that YouTube doesn't, and they're shorter. So you can add on to it. This is what I do. I have CapCut on my phone. I just scroll Instagram. And this isn't even a deliberate strategy. I just scroll Instagram because I'm a human being and I experience brain rot like other human beings. And when I find a piece of brain rot that's particular, that just makes me think something that feels inside me, like I just like, I just screen record the brain rot and then I pop it into CapCut and then I just film the thought that I had, and then I just add the thought that I had on the end of the video, and then I export the whole video as like a 3-minute video, and then I upload it to YouTube as a short, and I just do that every time I find a piece of brain rot that strikes me, and I'm just hoping no one strikes me with like a copyright suit or something. I mean, I don't think so, because YouTube's sort of built on copyright violation. I also don't think they care. I also think it might be argued that it's fair use. Again, I don't know. I just get subscribers for doing it, and then I can talk about how I don't know if I'm going to get sued for copyright violation, and we could all just laugh about the internet. If you just do that, like, you'll get subscribers. Like, the internet is so basic at this point that you could just film interesting reels and then just react to them and upload that as a video, and people will watch it to the tune of 20. That's my most watched video, is that, and I made it in the last like 2 weeks. I don't really care though, because if they'll watch me doing that, they'll watch someone else doing that. So it really becomes part of this giant broad picture of like my overall strategy to to get government defense contracts and use the money to buy substantial political influence in Quebec, which I used to nationalize the oil and gas reserves in my own name, which I then used to finance the sovereignty of Quebec as its own country. I'm just gonna try, man. Like, I don't know if this will work, but it seems like it might, and I'm not gonna mention it again for like 8 months, and it's only gonna be in this one live stream. So if people want to study my shit, they'll figure out what I'm fucking up to. But otherwise, I'm just a guy making YouTube videos and stuff online. And like, there's just layers to the fuckery that the fun and fuckery that I'm doing in internet stuff. Because like, I think the printing press is the reason we have constitutional republics. And I think the internet's why we're going to have Devonian feudalism. The Jews aren't the only ones who can try to take over everything, folks. It's open to everyone. And when I talk to them, they wonder why other people aren't trying too. It's great to be alive in this time period. So, I love the Jews. They are great people, and they wrote some excellent books in that Old Testament. Like Deuteronomy, the most popular book in the United States at the time of the American Revolution. I recommend everyone reads it now. Dancing Without a Permit. Yeah, guys, like, this is... So let's get to World War III. Let's get to World War III. So... I don't want to get to World War III right now. I'll talk about World War III later. Basically, though, the internet's shaking things up, guys. Common Sense pamphlet. I got The Rights of Man right there. I'm a huge fan of Thomas Paine. I love Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine is amazing. So if you want to get popular on the internet, so again, Lord Farquaad Spots, I do not condone smoking weed. I think it's bad. It sucks, you know? Spring water. Get crazy health problems, so Calvin Phillips. Why am I doing it? I was tortured to the point of madness by not sleeping for multiple months, so all of the reasons I had for valuing the ongoing integrity of my mind were stripped away, and all I was left with was endless pain and suffering and the almost certain possibility that this was going to kill me. And in the light of that, smoking weed didn't seem so bad, and it actually, like, relieved a bit of the stress when I go, like, 7 days without sleep. And I don't like that I'm psychologically addicted to it right now. I've gone off of it I made video series, like, No Weed, No Adderall. It's a playlist on my channel where I stopped smoking weed. I've stopped smoking weed for multiple time periods I've documented. And I'm going to be stopping, like, when the current dose of Vyvanse I'm on wears off. I just smoking weed while I'm on the Vyvanse to make it so when I go off both of them at the same time, it kind of stabilizes. And that might sound like an addict's. Dude, melatonin doesn't work. It works now that I've been only eating beef, salt, and water for the last 2.5 years, but it does not. No, I have something like Morvan syndrome, fatal insomnia, and anti-NMDA receptor encephalopathy. Like, it is literally, like, it's literally the symptoms of fatal insomnia. Like, you can look up the studies that have come out since 2016. When I started having these symptoms, they hadn't even documented fatal insomnia, but they have since documented it. The only thing that stops this is, like, 5-day fasts, and even that only lets me sleep for a few hours. Like, I've gone through what I've done to regain my sleep. Like, I've been throwing up constantly for, like, 2 years. Not, like, constantly, but, like, on a weekly, like, multiple times a week, sometimes often multiple times a day. Diarrhea, constant nausea. Like, I'm very sick. I have an autoimmune problem that manifests itself primarily as the inability to sleep, which quickly shuts down my ability to eat food, and then I start rapidly dying. And only 5-day fasts and lots of green tea and chlorella and salt pills and only eating beef, salt, and water, and taking betadine and stuff, and walking and meditating helps. And weed's a coping mechanism that I don't like and I don't support, and I wish I didn't smoke it, and I think it makes me weaker. That's why I intend to stop, but it just is what it is right now, because smoking weed while on Adderall is how I regain my sleep. One way I regain my sleep, other ways involve not doing it, but I'm kind of oscillating between those two as I rebuild some sense of stability in my life. And At least I'm not hooked on potent GABAergics that they try to prescribe for sleep disorders. I'll just say that. Like, I'm not hooked on potent GABAergics that would take years to wean off and be very, 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 very difficult. The weed has at times been hard to wean off of. I mean, I had gut issues too. Like, I think a lot of the reason is just I had like diarrhea for like 10 years and I just would be nauseous and like weed would make me not nauseous. And like I just could barely sleep most of the time. So I already like felt like shit anyway. So I was like, if I smoke weed at night, like, and it still made me worse, but it just sucks, man. Like, not sleeping makes me into someone I don't want to be, and it's like the worst fucking torture. So I smoke weed, and I don't like that I do, and I'm just gonna be honest about that, and I'm gonna stop. I am gonna stop. I've stopped smoking nicotine before I've stopped using pornography, so I have quit things. So I know that I will stop, but yeah, I don't know. Don't start. Don't start, but if you're dying of cancer or autoimmunity, and I don't know. I mean, I think green tea is more effective. Like green tea honestly helped my nausea more than weed. I couldn't drink green tea because I would puke and stuff and have issues from green tea. But then I realized if I took the third steeping, and I'll explain that if anyone wants, but if I took the third steeping, then I could drink that and only get like itchiness. And then I made myself accustomed to that because I was so sick at the time. I have videos from this time period too. Because I've just been making videos. I just kind of make them. And now I can refer back to them. So I can say, hey, man, like you can go check out my previous videos if you want to know what I'm talking about. So really what it does is it makes the conversation more fluid, my friends who are trying to develop your YouTube channels, because now I can just talk about whatever I want to talk about. Whenever something comes up that's covered by a previous video, I can just reference the previous video. And now you at least have the notion, and the correct notion at that, that you could go back to my previous work and review any of videos that you wanted to review. And you can. So now it's like this ongoing dialogue between us. You can go watch those videos. Then you could even come back and leave a comment on my other video. I can make a video response to that comment. You watch that video response. It's like, and then people find that thread and they find that thread interesting. And then that they become the long-term viewers of my channel. I mean, basically everyone that views your channel will not become a subscriber. And most of your subscribers will not watch your videos. Even most subscribers don't watch your videos, so it's really thanks, man. Tune in anytime. And I want to see what you make. I want to see what you make. Make me an edit that isn't gay. I already saw the gay one, so make you one that isn't gay and send it to me. If you send me another gay one, I will stop watching them because I'll just be like, fuck, this guy's just trying to bait me. But if you send me one that isn't gay, I'll watch it and I'll watch other ones and I'll subscribe to you, and then we'll check out each other's videos, you know? So I think you got potential. I think that this is an interesting thing we're all participating in this internet phase. So YouTube live streams, though, for 10 hours. Like, I think basically you could become popular on YouTube doing absolutely anything if you were simply committed enough to doing whatever pandering thing you thought everyone wanted you to do, whether that was 10-hour live streams every day or whatever. But the thing is, you might not become popular. You might become popular, and then you might have your popularity fade. You might then end up doing more of the thing you hate in order to become popular and have that fail, and then, or have it succeed just enough that you double down and become enslaved forever to the thing that you hate. So I say the power of the internet is not that, but the ability to use the internet to do what you love and document the doing of that, and then just simply do more and more of what you love, documenting it easier and easier ways. And then from the documenting of that, like, you just keep documenting it. Like, you literally, like, don't create, document. Gary Vee really is correct. Because at the end of the day, your own interests for your own life should dictate what content you make, because other people are human beings like you. And if you're living a life that you find interesting, then other people will be interested in the same things and motives and ideas that you have in that interesting life that you find interesting. And then you share that with other people. And in so doing, you share the triumph of the life you have created for yourself with the world, and in so doing you share your light with the world, and we all benefit from that light. And that's really like what authors are doing too. Like I found the struggle to make daily videos or make videos consistently is really the struggle to be who you were meant to be. Because it's only when you're being who you're meant to be, and now I'm at 0 people watching, so now I can be who I'm meant to be, that's how it works. It's only when you're being who you're meant to be that you actually are able to continuously talk about who you are. Because otherwise it just hurts. So really, like when I became who I was meant to be, then I could talk continuously about who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and the thoughts I have while I'm doing it. And it's all this creative, constructive, beautiful content that leads to this wonderful, continuous crescendo and weaves together the threads of the human effort into the glorious tapestry of the realization of the present moment. And the way I'm able to do all that is by following my interests, which are human interests, which have been the interests that the people, human beings who built civilization, have followed in their writing of the great books of history and creating of the great technologies of history and everything else. So it's really human interest of which I partake the same as anyone else that has governed everyone's actions. So as we're all human beings, we can all relate to each other's motives unless we're all being very dishonest and pretending we can't. And that's why Jesus had to die for our sins. But now that he's done that, we can all wink, wink, be honest with each other and admit that we're all human beings and we all partake of the same human interests, and that what's interesting to me will be interesting to you for precisely the same reasons that is interesting to me. So if I share what's interesting to me for the reasons it's interesting to me, then that'll be interesting to you for the reasons it's interesting to you, and there will be overlap because we are human beings. And if there is an overlap, it means I'm ahead of my time or behind my time or whatever, but at the end of the day, I can continuously create without needing to put on my creation the burden of provision. And by doing so, I can create without burden. And by creating without burden, I can create the most. And by creating the most, I have the most practice creating. By having the most practice creating, I create the best. And by creating the most of the best, I have the most best creations on the most technologically viable networks, and thus they get consumed the most. And I also selectively filter for the people of the entire population who are the most interested in those things that interest me. And then I become the dealer of said interest, and thus harness the wisdom of the ages of ages to talk about those ideas created by men more intelligent than myself, communicated in a language that I did not invent, to people who I did not birth and raise, with technology I did not invent. And yet I profit in the same way we all profit. And I see us all as really custodians of this great tradition and wealth that is passed down to us, first by our families, and secondly by our culture, and thirdly by our civilization. And I say to all you people, who are you to turn down this opportunity of the ages of ages to partake of the well of wisdom and grow into a man of knowledge and become great in both word and deed? Who are you to ignore the still small voice inside you? Who are you to do that? What's the consequence of doing that for you personally? What would happen if you didn't? To which part of yourself would you turn if you knew that the destruction of absolutely everything was near? What is absolutely everything? Well, I just know myself. I see you, and you seem similar to myself. These people on the internet talking, they look similar to you and I could probably learn a thing or two about this whole thing by paying attention to them. So that's what people do. You go on the internet, And I sit here on my live stream, and people come on my live stream, and they come off my live stream, and they talk to me, and they look at my channel, and they go off my channel, and I make shorts, and I wonder if I'm going to get sued, and I wonder if my channel will get blocked, and I wonder if I should have backed up all my videos sooner. And I wonder a million things, and I am a human being, and you are a human being, and so my thoughts are relevant to you because they're had by a creature who's so similar to you, he might as well be you. In some ways, not in others. It's interesting. I can just turn on my camera and I can get attention from people. I don't know them, but there's attention there. I leave the video up and the video gets views. So strange. Ten-hour live streams. Now, let me look at this channel. Let me go pee first, actually, and then I'll come back and look at this channel. So, this is what I'm going to use to store my books in and stuff while I'm writing the God Engines. That's how this relates to that. And I got some cool books to use for that. But so now YouTube makes no sense. So now YouTube has stopped giving me people. There's no one coming on anymore at about the hour mark. And this is what I noticed with live streams is that the longer the live stream goes on, the fewer people come on. And it's kind of like how YouTube tests things out. So it's really unless people are really personally obsessed with your YouTube channel and what you have to say for their own reasons to the point where they're coming on YouTube every day to check up on what you're saying, you're not going to get any persistent attention and the only reason they would do that are for the same reasons that you are interested in your life every day. Because that's simply how YouTube works. So YouTube is not trying to build you an audience. YouTube is just sort of serving as a record of the collective unconscious for the ideas that register most with people. So by simply monitoring what people react to, and there's literally they'll recommend you a vlog while you're watching a movie from the 1940s. Like, where else do you see connections between movies from the 1940s and a personal vlog? YouTube. YouTube finds the connection by being a manifestation of the collective unconscious, by seeing when people respond to that connection. So that's really like what YouTube is trying to do and doing. So it's silly to think of YouTube as anything else. So this is like 15,000 views streamed 2 months ago, and now if I go look at his channel, they got like 63,000 views, 17,000 views, 13,000 views. But it's like 41,000 views, 167,000 views streamed 2 weeks ago. So it's kind of inconsistent views, but these are all like 10-hour, for the most part, these are like multi-hour live streams. Some of them are members only, so he's trying to monetize it rapidly, which is really silly because he's limiting his own audience by doing that. And then also there's audience capture to consider. So Mog and Serve, I think so. I mean, it's like you ultimately want to avoid audience capture too. And that's where I just make videos. And I try to make videos that people like won't like to some degree. Like I'm like, oh, people won't like this. I'll make this video because I want to avoid directly pandering. Because at the point in time where you start getting ridiculously popular, you will receive so much dopamine for that behavior that it will reinforce that behavior to the point where it become a personality pathology. So the best way to avoid that, in my personal opinion, is to make the behavior itself an exploratory behavior so that you're really just exploring your own inner world by making the YouTube videos as a method of self-reflection, so that you really become addicted to the process of just self-reflecting through YouTube videos much more so than whatever feedback you're getting for the YouTube videos. Like, I don't want to ever be understood by my audience. I don't ever want to be at a point where people are like, oh, I see what this guy's doing. I don't even want to know what I'm doing myself, because at the point where my action is reducible to an articulable strategy is the point at which I will no longer be receiving feedback for being myself, but for being that articulable strategy. And that's just audience capture. That's basically, it's like one of the things that happened to Hitler. It's like, as he gave speeches, he would get praised for some things and booze for other things. And so these live streams are a way of allowing yourself to be audience captured in some weird way, because at least if you do them every single day, if I did a live stream every single day, I would be shaped by my audience as much as my audience is shaped by me. And I would become what they want me to be, which might not be what I want me to be. And you see this with like food YouTubers who eat themselves to death. It's like there's a real thing going on between them and the crowd, you know? I want to avoid that in every way. But I also want to be rich. So how do I do this? Well, it helps that I have favorable circumstances to build this in, and also no real constraints on my time beyond those that come from family and my health and my own goals and aspirations. So I don't need to place the stress of supporting myself on any one particular business venture at this point in time. So I can grow each thing independently. I can basically say, I'm just going to do YouTube and see how YouTube works. I'm just going to do blog posts on everything I think is useful. So I'm not trying to write I'm not going to write, I don't have any blog posts up now, but I'm not going to try to write blog posts that I think you're going to want to read. I'm just going to be like, I'm having an autistic thought about a hyper detail oriented way of doing something I do all the time. I'm going to roll with this and publish it. I'm having a hyper detailed thought about something I do all the time. I'm going to roll with this and make a YouTube video. I'm going to, like, that's what I do. So when I do it that way, it becomes the self therapy I talked about at the beginning of the video. And it also is something I can do endlessly, really. Like, there's a period in this video where I just stared at the camera while someone was on there watching for like 3 minutes without saying anything because I was thinking and I didn't want to say anything. If everyone clicked off, I wouldn't care. So this becomes this weird art for art's sake thing. It's not weird art for art's sake, though. It is just art for art's sake because it has to be art for art's sake, because if you're doing art not for art's sake, you're compromising the art. And the only reason people are interested in the art is because they're interested in like why another hairless ape would go and do this thing. And it's just fascinating. Like, you're like these weird hairless apes that don't understand ourselves. So we're like, why do the hairless apes do the things that they do? And here's a hairless ape doing so. I mean, I have hair, I guess, but like mostly hairless ape. A human being, a Homo sapien, you know what I mean, doing this thing. Why is he doing it? And that's where it's interesting for its own sake. So the art for art's sake, and he just like he's back, maybe, I guess. But the art for art's sake is necessary for book writing, for drawing art, for really any writing. I didn't get good at writing until I started writing for my own pleasure. It really takes doing the thing for the pleasure of doing the thing in order to get skilled at doing the thing. Play, the spirit of play, ultimately. And I think that's what the internet enables. The internet enables people who have become good at things through the spirit of play to share those things, and it enables people who have not to learn those things by play, and it enables people to play with the means of conveying the information in the way that I'm doing now. So it's all interesting. It's all interesting. And feeling a little sleepy. I may lay down. This may be a natural ending point, but I don't really know. TikTok shop. This is interesting. I don't have a TikTok shop. I think I have a Week to Warrior Axe. But again, there's no one watching now. And it's like, I think if you want to, and that's something I don't understand either about YouTube Live, is the interaction between me and the audience through them coming on and off. Because it's not like a video where you stay and you watch the whole thing. It's a live stream where people come on and off and leave comments, and they'll come on, leave a comment, and then just leave. And it is this ongoing dialogue between me and the audience, and not just something where I had an idea and I'm only reacting myself. Because even now is the possibility that any moment in the middle of a thought, someone who hasn't heard any of my thoughts could just appear and have no idea what I'm talking about. And that itself is a disconcerting form of stimulation. It's interesting. Live streams are different than videos. They're all videos, though. I don't really think we understand the art form at all. I don't think we understand the internet. I don't think we understand ourselves. But we're trying to. And for some reason, watching people try to understand themselves is interesting to us. At least we're not watching people get tortured. That's a dark impulse. That would be bad. Some people do that, though. Like, I was watching something earlier and they mentioned, like, if you get caught by the Chechens, save a bullet for yourself. It was some clip of a YouTube thing that I was watching. That's because of torture. They torture people. They do that in warfare. They torture people and they do medical experiments on them. And even now, as I'm talking, I notice that the fact that there's someone listening has motivated me to be like, ooh, tell them about Unit 731. Ooh, say more stuff that'll be really stimulating instead of making a long drawn out point. And it's just fascinating how my thoughts are influenced by this ongoing process of making videos and people coming onto the videos. I could see if I just did 10-hour live streams for years, I would become this person who was always saying stimulating things that were perfectly calibrated to keep your attention. But is that me? I don't know. I don't think that's how I come to my best ideas. I don't think that that's the fountainhead. Ego, the fountainhead, Ayn Rand, the fountainhead of all man's achievements, ego. I don't think that's the fountainhead. I think that the fountainhead is that ego, is that refusal to allow oneself to be influenced by other people, to want what is authentically oneself, to be influenced, but to be aware of the influence in a way that makes it not influence, but romance. Why did that come to mind? It is sort of romantic to take the ideas of another and adapt them and build on them. It's almost like love. It's deeper than love in many ways. It's like the prodigal son recognized the wisdom of his father. And the father saw that he recognized the wisdom and gave him the ring because it was that recognition of the wisdom that he really craved. And it was that was why he was so frustrated with his other son. He was like, can't you see that he sees what I do? But he could only see the fatted calf and not the rest of the world dying from famine. Oh, the wisdom, the layers of it, the joy of talking about it, just the joy of being. I mean, I could record myself just existing. What makes it beautiful is the lack of my desire to gain anything by it other than my own self-expression. But if I do desire, then I will desire, and then that will be expressed as well, which will also be my self-expression. For 1,400 videos, have I not done that at least a dozen times? Will I not do it at least a dozen more? The beautiful joy of being. Flanking the head is flanking the spine, is flanking the lead foot arrow. I'm looking at my notes on the wall in jiu-jitsu with spinal control, hip control, and everything, and I'm putting it all together into like head, hands, hips, base, connection, angle. They're all related. It's this circular game of geometry. I love it more than chess. I love chess so much. If I hadn't loved chess first, I never would have loved jiu-jitsu and wrestling the way I do. If I hadn't loved wrestling first, I wouldn't love jiu-jitsu the way I do. Oh, how the turntables. Think about the skill it must have taken to write something like Crime and Punishment or The Brothers Karamazov as a serial. Because you're writing the whole thing without the ability to go back and edit the beginning. But I guess that's just life. That's sort of why what they're paying to see, I guess. They're paying to see the artist experience agony. But agony is also ecstasy. And thus Bacchus was ripped apart and Christ was crucified. And heaven and hell are both flames. The fires of love. The uncreated light. The uncreated light. I still feel self-conscious hitting this even though there's no one watching, but I'll just record that because it's all part of the record of the self-therapy of the thing. I'm gonna treat this image like a mystical artifact, and then I'm gonna write a book about it for myself, and then I'm gonna turn that book into something for consumption of people. But maybe not. I like Steppenwolf for madmen only. That's what America is. America is for madmen only. No country for old men. Young at heart. It's a necessary prerequisite. I have other things to do and more energy and more to share. But more's the mystery. Until next time.